All right, today I'm going to give you my momentum maker formula to kick off your month in a big way. That's actually kind of a tongue twister. Momentum making formula. Well, it is for me anyway. But I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor as you join. Let me know where you're watching from, what city, state, province in Canada, what country. If you're watching this on replay, I definitely appreciate the feedback because when you engage, and what's awesome about the platform that I'm using right now, it's on StreamYard, is the fact that it can broadcast on multiple platforms at once. So right now, this is going to, my Facebook page, a Facebook group, the 3M Factor. It's going to Twitter. It's going to LinkedIn. It's going to my YouTube channel. So it allows me to connect with a bunch of you at one time. And what I'm going to do, and let me know if this sounds good to you. I thought about November. I'm going to try to go live more in 1 month than I have in maybe the whole year, just this month. So during the week, I'm going to try to touch base every single day and just give you some simple things to help you go out and really take your life and your business to the next level. And my new mission, I was thinking about ways to actually word what I want to do. I want to help people with their performance, their productivity, and their profits, the 3 Ps. And that is my goal. So smash the love button if you like that, or subscribe button wherever you are. But that's my goal, to add as much value right now as I possibly can. And I think it's critical for us to really work hard on doing those things right now. You've heard me talk maybe on some other lives recently. They're talking about, look, the next 1 to 3 years are going to be the most challenging times of our entire life. The next 1 to 3 years, there is no doubt. There's no one that I'm listening to that's not saying anything different. Matter of fact, Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling business author of all times, he was just talking about that with Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David had another talk that I was listening to, how he, in June 29th, he goes, listen, interest rates are going to go to, here 30%, 30 years, not 30%, but the 30-year fix, they're going to go to over 10%. That was June 29th. And Dave Ramsey came out with a post and was basically saying he didn't believe it was going to do that from what he was saying. And it's already at 7.5%. It's increased 50% just since June 29th. I'm hearing rumors of diesel. We're going to be out of diesel, here in the U.S. within 20 some days. And that's how we get food and a lot of other things. So now that's all the challenging stuff. Real estate. I was reading an article from someone they interviewed in Fortune magazine, and the lady was like, look, normally we have 300 new realtors a month. Now we're at about 120. She goes, however, we have about 30 a day that are like going no longer a realtor. They're resigning. They're checking out from being a real estate agent. Mortgages are down 38% year over year right now based off of last year. And so if you look at the last 12 years, it's been easy to get money. It's been easy to get credit. Money's been cheap. People have been spending money like crazy. And assets have been increasing, whether it's real estate, the stock market's been going up. All of that is getting ready to change at a rapid pace, and we're watching it unfold right in front of our eyes. So what does that mean for us? Now, here's the good news. Here's the good news. If you listen to those people, Ed Mylett, Andy Frisella, who owns First Form, worth, companies valued at over $1 billion. You've got Patrick Bet-David, worth several $100 million. You've got all of these people, every one of them, they talk about how their business in 2008, I was building businesses in 2008 and we had the economy crash, all of that. I built right through that and I grew during that time. Their businesses, they go, look, during that 9/11, we had the biggest increase we've ever had. During 2020, the exact same thing. So if we do the right things, we don't just try to survive during these times, we actually thrive during these times. The biggest transfer of wealth happens during a recession, during a depression, and during wars. We have all of that going on right now. Now, why is that? Does that happen? Well, first of all, it happens because there's more needs. Like people are going to need your products, your services. People are looking for ways to generate additional income. People are looking for value that you can provide. I don't care if it's entertainment. I don't care if it's education, whatever it may be. So this is the time that we really do what most people are not willing to do. to be able to go through the next 1 to 3 years and position your family, right? You talk about being the one person that changes your entire family tree forever. And when we start coming out of this, I think it was Elon Musk was saying, look, spring 2024 is his prediction. When we start coming out of it, we're going to come out of it at a rapid pace. And that's when you can accelerate. And that's when people will go, man, how did you do that? Like overnight, you were an overnight success. And then you're going to laugh internally going, you know what? It wasn't overnight. I was doing in the dark what you're now seeing in the light. I was willing to go out and pay the price and work hard, do what I could do when I could do it. That's the key. I'm not saying work 100 hours a week. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. And then you have the ability to create the life that you and your family deserve. It's not hype. It's truth. Look at the people that go out there and do it. Now, do me a favor. Appreciate you letting me know where you're coming from. Emmanuel, welcome. Fred Duff, what's up, my brother? Just got off the phone with you. Hey, Susan. Hey, Troy, how are you, my man? Great to see you. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. Before I do that, let me just mention, I'm doing coaching and training and a lot of speaking. I spoke on 6 virtual stages last month, some inside of network marketing, outside of network marketing. I had 1 physical stage where I actually traveled and spoke on stage last month. So if you're in the network marketing world or you're not, there's a video, rankupandlead.com, a free 7-minute training. Check it out. And then at the end of that, if you're a leader and you have a big let's say an organization, 50 to 100 people, you're making $2,000 to $4,000 a month minimum, then I have a program for you. You and I can set up a call. I'll tell you about it. If it's for you, great. If it's not, that's okay too. Or if you're not in network marketing, you still can schedule a call. If you have a company or looking for someone as far as a speaking engagement, then you can set up a call with me there as well. And then darrenkidd.com, there's free training. You can connect to my podcast. All of those things are free. So there's something for everyone. There's no excuse. You cannot get value by going to either one of those websites and just take in the information and go use it. Now, let's get right into the training. And it's going to be brief. I want to be brief. I want to be to the point, but I want to give you some things that make an impact in your life. If you have an aha moment, do me a favor. Let me know in the comments. Go, man, I needed to hear that. Right now, where we are in life, it's a sum total of our thoughts, our actions, our behaviors. Les Brown said, we are where we are today because at some point we had an appointment to be right here. And the quicker we take responsibility for where we are, the quicker we can change things. Awareness leads to change. And I was reading, and I think this was from Brian Tracy's book, $1 Million Habits. It said, perhaps the most important discovery when it comes to the psychology of success is that 95% of everything that you think, you feel, do, and achieve is a result of habits. Beginning in childhood, you have developed a series of conditioned responses that lead you to behave automatically and unthinkingly in almost every situation. If you really just step back for a second and go, we think 70 to 90,000 thoughts a day. So definitely the subconscious makes more decisions than our conscious mind. To put it simply, successful people have success habits and unsuccessful people do not. Successful, happy, healthy, and prosperous people automatically and consistently do and say the right thing, the right way, at the right time. As a result, they accomplish 10 to 20 times more than the average person who've not yet learned these habits or practiced these behaviors. So your life today is a sum total of your choices, decisions, and actions to this point. So here's the great news. You can create your own future, the future of your dreams, whatever you want, by just changing the choices that you make, changing the behaviors. And all of these that I'm going to talk about are very simple. And the difference between winning and losing, it's so small. But when you do these little small things consistently and you're patient and you give them time to compound, it absolutely changes your life in a big way. And I'm not just talking about business. I'm talking about your health. I'm talking about your family. I'm talking about your relationships. I was coaching a leader today and we were talking. She's like, Darren, what I love about this, it's changed every aspect of my life. Relationship with your spouse, your children, your health. I'm in better shape now than I was in my 20s. It's crazy. I'm like, man, I'll be 50 years old in a few months. But this business taught me a different way to think. Then I started having different actions and behaviors, that I created habits, and that compounded over a period of time made a big difference. So at first we create our habits and our rituals, then they create us. And what I love about doing the right things, because we need to, not because we feel like it, what happens is we continue to do them. We create habits and rituals where we do them no matter how we feel. Because the majority of the time, we are never going to feel like doing what's necessary to change our life. I got another training I'm going to do inside my Level Up leadership group. Okay, these are all leaders that are looking to break through that next level. And anyway, I won't spoil it, but I'll tell it to you a little bit later. So first we create our habits, then our habits create us. Number one, I'm going to give you 5 simple tips. But here's my challenge to you. When you hear these, fight the urge to go, I already know that. It doesn't matter what you know. Are you doing something with what you know? Knowledge is not power, it's potential power. I keep saying that over and over and over again because I knew a lot for a long time, but I was a broke know-it-all, like Rob Sperry says. Doesn't matter how much you know, we've got to do some things with this. Number one, revisit your reasons. I love to do this. And you want to get in the habit of planning your next month before it begins, just like your day. Plan tomorrow today. That way you get up and you're not like a ping pong ball in a wind tunnel. You're being proactive, not reactive, and you're being very intentional. So I like to do it at the end of the month, but if you hadn't, it's okay. Start with where you are right now. Revisit your reasons. Reasons reap results. Why are you building your business? Really ask yourself the question, why am I doing what I'm doing? What do I really want? Put the emotional attachment to the money. It's not the money. It's more time with your family. It's creating moments that your kids will never forget. It's retiring your spouse, retiring your mom, or giving to a charity, helping your church, getting rid of that debt. Let me tell you something. People that say that money's not important, if they say that, they'll lie about a bunch of other things too, because it is hard to enjoy the blessings of life when that dark cloud of money hangs over your head with every dang decision, because it's hard to eat healthy, feed your family healthy foods when you don't have money. It's hard to put them in a safe vehicle when you don't have money. It's hard to help people you love and care about. If you're trying to make it just yourself from day to day, you can't help anybody else. And so at first, you have to be able to help yourself. If you can't help you, you can't help anyone else. But you have to ask those hard questions. What is it do I really want? Turn the dream machine back on. Now, I'm not going to mess up the lighting and anything like that, but around my office, I've got a TV on right now with YouTube videos playing all day, places my wife and I want to travel. We want to take the family. Maybe it's homes. I've got stuff on my screensavers. I've got affirmations. I got a printout of our dream home where we had the plans, created that we're going to build, all kinds of stuff. But revisit your reasons. Clarity gives you focus, and focus gives you energy. You have to start there. If you feel unmotivated, you feel burned out, it goes back to clarity. Crystal clear clarity. I could train on that for 2 hours. I'm not. Number 2, work on the invisible lid. The invisible lid in your own head. What does that mean? A mentor of mine, there was a billionaire. He said, Darren, you will never get past your self-imposed limitations. It took me 10 years to get it. Like, what do you mean? Now I understand. It doesn't matter what we learn. It doesn't matter who teaches us what. If we don't change that lid in our head, we're only going to get what we feel like we're worth, what we deserve. We will always sabotage. I was talking to Fred right before I got on here, right? I was like, you know what? I go, Fred, here's what's crazy. I go, even when I was making $1 million a year, I found a way because subconsciously I felt guilty because people go, man, the love of money and you should be giving it away, and how do you got people struggling and yet you're living like that. So subconsciously I would find a way to always come back to where you could be broke at a higher level. So for a period of time that was the case. So if we don't work on that internal thermostat to raise our own identity, raise that invisible lid in our own head, we're never going to achieve our potential. So how do you raise the internal thermostat? How do you get past your self-imposed limitations? Let me give you some simple things that you can implement right now. Number one, faith. I mean, you don't have to believe what I believe, but I believe we're made in the image of our Creator. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty powerful. When we have the DNA of God, our Creator in us, that's pretty powerful. So you have to have faith that, look, I was designed and created in the image of our Creator. And I have a lot of potential. You have a lot of potential. And I want to do as much good as I can, as long as I can, to as many people as I can. But you have to believe it, because you're never going to raise above what you feel like you deserve and your worth. Another way that you break through that invisible lid, you raise that water line a little bit more, is you go out and you do in a period of time what you normally wouldn't have done. You do crazy work. So me getting up early in the morning, now I'm in a different career path now. I'm no longer, I had franchises. I was in network marketing for 28 years. I've had e-commerce businesses, but now I'm doing speaking, training, coaching. It's a whole new world. So I've invested a ton of money, a ton of time. And there's a lot of times I get up every morning at 5:15 a.m. I come over here to my office a little after 6, and I'm by myself. But because I'm doing a crazy amount of work, and because I'm investing a lot of time, energy, and money in my education, then all of a sudden I go, you know what? I deserve to have more than most people, because I'm doing more than most people. Yeah, you see the people that get recognized in the light, it's because of what they did in the dark. They get recognized in public for what they did in private. It's lonely in this office, working all day and cranking out things. But when you do that work, it raises your water line. Here's another way: your associations. Your associations are everything. I am very intentional, and I'm talking about like never before. Like never before. Okay, I'm just looking at some of your comments, Troy. Very true. Okay, as I am right now, I understand. And I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today at the gym. And I go, it's crazy. I go, have you ever separated from a group of people? Doesn't mean it's bad, but like you separated, all of a sudden you spent time away and you're like, how did I never see that? How did I think that way? It's like we had mental handcuffs on. It's like or mental cuffs. It's like we were mentally enslaved and didn't even know it, because your associations, they work harder on you. They work harder on me than we work on them. You have to be very intentional about hanging around people that give you energy, that think bigger. I intentionally hang around people that make me uncomfortable. They scare the heck out of me because they're thinking so big. When you hang around those people, if you go, man, I'm a 75-degree person and I'm hanging around 100-degree people, then all of a sudden you go, man, if they can do it, I can do it. If it's martial arts, if it's in the gym, if it's whatever it may be, you start to go, I can do it. It is possible. I do deserve it. The other day, I did a training in Dallas, and I was on stage, and it was a roadmap to success. And I didn't think about this part until I got home, when I had the adaptive cruise control on. And I was going down the highway, and the speed limit was like 70. And so I had the speed limit set at like 75 or whatever, but I looked at the speedometer, and I'm going like 60. And I'm like, what the heck? Well, the reason was because there was someone in front of me, and that adaptive cruise control, I could have had it set on 100, but it's never going to go any faster as long as the people around me are slowing me down. Question to ask yourself when you jump off of this training: what are my associations doing to me or for me? Sometimes it's not what we know. Who do we know? Who do I need in my life to go reach toward my full potential? Who do I need to limit time with, stop listening to? And when it's associations, it's not just people. It is what you watch on TV. When I get near this office, I don't allow myself to turn on any news. I've got positive songs. I've got a positive playlist. I've got motivational stuff on YouTube. I've got success reminders all around me of why I work so hard when I don't feel like it. Everywhere I turn. So you work on the invisible lid. Here's another thing that they talked about at the event I went to at Ed Milet's house last week. Okay. And hey, Carmela, great to see you. So Ed Milet, he was talking about, look, he was jogging on the beach in Hawaii many years ago. And he had been, listening to Wayne Dyer, like it was a mentor of him, a virtual mentor. And he looks on the beach and there's Wayne Dyer running and he's running. And so he goes, man, you're Wayne Dyer. And they sat down and had an hour and a half conversation. And Wayne Dyer told him, listen, never attach your confidence to results. Always attach your confidence to your intentions. And he was actually writing the book, The Power of Intention. So when you link your confidence to your intentions, when you be careful who you associate with, you be intentional who you associate with, when you go work really hard over a short period of time, you raise that water line. It's like Bob Proctor, I believe it was him that said, look, your mind never goes back to its original form once you stretch it. It's like a rubber band. You stretch it as far as you possibly can. It never goes back to its original shape. Or I got another friend of mine, multi-millionaire. He's an old country boy, brilliant. He started a franchise. They won all kinds of awards. He says it's like a pair of old underwear. Once you've worn them and you've stretched them, they ain't never going back to its original shape. I'm like, you know what? That is true. So that's the way that your mind works, and that invisible lid inside your own head. And your identity, it doesn't matter what we learn, what someone teaches us, what I teach you. If we don't work to increase and lift that lid, we always come back to where we are. And that's one reason that people who win the lottery always go broke. All right, let me know if you're getting any aha moment. So James says this is spot on. Okay, we got someone from the Philippines. Welcome. And we've got, who else do we have on here? All right, appreciate that. By the way, thanks for smashing the heart buttons, subscribing, liking, all of that, because it just, shows me that you're getting value out of what I'm talking about. Number 3, set goals. Not going to do a goal setting training. Most likely you need to set goals. The studies show you're 10 times more effective, 10 times more successful if you set goals, especially if you write them down. That multiplies the chances of you succeeding even more. And make sure they're smart goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and tangible. So that's smart goals. Because if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Number 4, identify. This is big. Identify distractions. What distractions are holding you back? That's a homework assignment. Once you get off here, write it down. Is it social media? Is it people in your life that constantly pull on you and they're talking negative, or they're talking more about your limitations than your possibilities, more about limitations than your potential, reminding you of who you were, not focusing on where you're going and the possibilities? Sometimes you have to tell people, be positive or be quiet. It's true. So what are the distractions in your life? From me, I have to turn my computer. I tell people I got ADD, ADHD, ADT, whatever it is. I have to make sure that I turn off distractions, turn the phone on focus mode, not look at social media, not have all of these dings and alerts. There's people that I don't associate with because, or limit my time. There's people I had to defriend on social media, which, by the way, I had some people working with me. They defriended a bunch of people that I didn't tell them to. But so if that was you, my apologies. I just found that out. So I froze them from doing any more work for right now until we get that straight. But there were people that were very negative and always posting, stuff that just, you can hide them. But there were some people that were very close to me. I'm like, I can't even hide it. I do not want to see all those things. And a lot of them were indirectly at me because people get jealous of you. When you start sticking your head above the crowd, they take swings at you. So what are the things that are distracting you and holding you back? Identify the next D, which is discipline. What is the single most important daily discipline that when I follow through with it, I am winning? What discipline, one discipline, if you did every single day and you followed through, it's going to lead you to where you want to go. You're winning. It's a high payoff activity. It's a leading indicator that it's going to get you to where you want to go. And when you stack it day by day, it compounds. So over the last 30 days, when you look at those things, how would you rate yourself? Like for me, here I am going live. I'm like, you know what? I love interacting with people. I've been so busy doing all these other things and having private conversations. But what if I just went live for a few minutes, multiple times a week throughout the month of November? With all the negative news, let's give them some positive stuff. Let's give them some value that can make a difference in their life. Because see, when you start to identify these things, and by the way, when you revisit your reasons, that not only motivates you for business, it motivates you for other things. When I know that if my physical body breaks down, I can't be the husband I want to be. I can't be the dad that I want to be. I can't build my business and impact as many people as I want to impact. And I'll get to number 5 in just a minute, which is the most important. And so what do? I've implemented success habits. Very simple. Maybe I'll come on and share that with you sometime. I have a timer. Well, one, I bought a stand-up desk. You cut off half your energy when you sit down. So for me, when I'm working in my office, I'm standing up. It's made a world of difference. Little slight edge, 1% thing. I have a Pomodoro free app called Focus to Do. And with this Focus to Do app, then what I do with this, every 25 minutes, it's a 5-minute break. They found that after 10 minutes, our attention span starts to decrease. So if you work for 2 hours straight, it's a constant decline from 10 minutes to 2 hours. But if you take 4 breaks, every 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break, then your attention span peaks 4 times during that 2 hours. It was a game changer for me. But then I'm like, okay, I'm not drinking enough water during the day. How do I habit stack? How do I continue to drink more water and to move more? Well, then what I implemented was tracking my water. I write down, I have, 8 ounce, this is hydrogen water. And so I hit this little button, it puts hydrogen in the water. And so what I do is when I have that 5-minute break, I drink water. I'm like, I need to move, change my state. You don't change your life unless you change your energy. So why don't I do push-ups? I started with 10. Now I do 20 push-ups every 25 minutes. I'm like, yeah, but that's my upper body. I need to do something with my lower body, 10 air squats. They're like, man, well, sometimes I'm stiff. So now I'll stretch in a squatted position, 60 seconds, do some calf raises, right? You can do whatever you want to do. But the point is, I'm like, I've got to work. What are the goals in my business? What are the goals in my physical health? What are the goals with my relationships and my family? I'm like, well, I need to make sure that I'm focused when my kids are in front of me. I am being intentional about them. Nothing else matters when my kids are around. Now, it doesn't mean all the time, but it means that I have time that I'm focused on them when I'm around them to let them know you are more important than anything in my life. So these things apply to every aspect of your life. So you identify the disciplines. And then number 5, and let me know if you needed to hear any of these. Number 5, then I'll recap one more time. Take action. Take action. It's November 1st. The longer you wait, when we're in business, a lot of times we slow down at the end of the month because we didn't hit the goals that we wanted to achieve. I will start next month. Then we go, okay, it's a new month. It's a clean slate, which is true. But I'm going to take the first few days and organize my desk, go through emails, do some goal setting, do some dream building. And the first few days get away from us. So we miss the last few days, the first few days, we lose momentum. Momentum is like a yawn. It's contagious. It's like somebody laughing. I mean, have you ever seen a video of a kid that is just laughing so hard? And then the next thing you know, you're looking at it and you're laughing to the point where you're crying. And then the people around you, they're laughing. Nobody even knows they're laughing. They're just laughing because other people are laughing. That's what momentum is. But momentum is hard to get. But once you get it, it's easy to advance. It's also easy to lose. So having that urgency to close out your month strong, having the urgency to lead your team, whether it's in real estate, network marketing, your corporation, whatever it may be, You've got to get them into action and moving, especially with the distractions that we have right now going on. We have holidays here in the US. We have Thanksgiving coming up this month, which means that you got to go out and get at least the entire month worth of work done within 2.5, 3 weeks. Yes, Thanksgiving is a one-day holiday, but people use it as an excuse. When I started treating Thanksgiving as a one-day holiday and making sure I pushed right up until that day, and then that day, yes, I ate the turkey. I ate myself almost into a coma, all the pies and the cakes and all that fun stuff. But the next day, I was right back at it. And because I did that, I built a life to where I could treat every day of the year just like Thanksgiving. Because I was thankful and grateful every day. We should be that right now. If you're breathing and seeing this, it means that God's not done with you yet. There's a lot to be grateful for. But doing these things, these little 1% things, and I didn't mean to come on here and go this long and give this much, but I guess I got caught up in the feedback and just kept wanting to give you value. So let me know if you, what was the most important one? Like, what was your aha moment? I'm just curious. Before we close out, I'll take a couple minutes and just, hang out with you before I go with my wife and we walk the dogs and we look at the sunset, which I'm going to miss it if I'm not careful, and enjoy the time out, get some fresh air and all that good stuff before I call it a night. But number one, revisit your reasons. I'm serious about that. Do not take that lightly. I used to say, skip that crap. Give me the how-tos. If you don't get clarity, nothing else is going to work. Clarity gives you focus. Focus gives you energy. The clearer the picture of your future, the more goal-directed your actions are on a daily basis. Number two, work on your invisible lid in your own head, your self-imposed limitations. It doesn't matter what goes on around us. How do people win no matter what happens in the economy, no matter what happens in the world? Because it's not what goes on around us as important as what goes on within us. It's that internal thermostat. It's why Tony Robbins says, look, 80% of success is psychology, not skills. Your mindset, your attitude determines your altitude, how far you're going to go. Then number three, set personal goals and business goals. And by the way, don't set too many. I'll have 1 to 3 business and personal. A lot of times it's maybe one of each because you can't focus on too many things. Number 4, identify your distractions and identify the discipline or the disciplines. And then number 5, take action. Attach your confidence to your intentions. Thank you for sharing that, Diana. I appreciate that. All right. Well, listen, again, thanks for subscribing. If you are in network marketing, go ahead. There's a free training for you. And if you have a team, I would say 50 to 100 people, you're making $2,000 to $4,000 a month or more, you're ready to break through that next level. Watch that 7-minute training, set up a call with me. Let me take you through and show you a level up leadership program that I have that we're getting results. I've had 2 leaders. One, she's making about $20,000 a month, came into the program in her first week. Darren, if I didn't get anything else out of the next 6 months, this program was worth it many times over. And she started sharing with me results she was getting from just the first week of being in the program. And I've had that happen time and time and time again, because just like today, I like to over deliver. And when I have that group, I can really dig deep and give everything to you in that group. And again, free training on darrenkidd.com. But I will jump back on here. The rest of the trainings, I'm not going to go this long, but I want to kind of kick off the month, give you a little bit of push and a shove to help you get going in the right direction. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. And again, work on those things that I gave you tonight. Ask yourself the right questions. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of questions that you ask yourself. And then let's take action. All right. Thanks so much. Good night.